Hey, gangsters. Let me get this, let me get my mic stuff working. Okay, here. Let me turn on webcam. Bam. Oh, hello. You get to see the arcade cabinet back there, too. I've been breaking it in, so I'm really bad at all the games on it, by the way. Let me come in here. And... okay, that should be a little better. We have the air conditioner vent right above here, so I want to make sure that the AC doesn't kick on at the worst times. You know, so. All right, let me get down here and show you guys what we're working on today. So DC is having kind of a fan festival thing in August, and now 100%. Groceries were delivered. Oh, it's a sign. No problem, Devil Fern. It's a sign. That means all your snacks got here. You're good to go. What's up? What's up, Milo? Yeah, so what we're doing today, we do have... okay, let me get out of that. That should be good. DC is having that fandom thing in August, so I decided I was going to make some fan art of Superman, and I worked on it a little bit last night. But yeah, we're just going to kind of work on that, chill out, relax, all that. So I'll be taking questions and stuff, but really I'll just be cranking the Destiny soundtrack because that's one of the things that you don't get copyright striked on is Destiny stuff. I think Blizzard stuff is the same way. You won't get like terms of service or whatever they call it. So yeah, just to kind of show you what my setup is right now. I do have my fancy art glove on. I got my Huion tablet, my touch tablet right here. And yeah, so this is the touch tablet. This is PureRef. I highly recommend PureRef. I know if you've seen some of my Gumroad videos or my Skillshare courses, I talk about PureRef a lot. I just like having reference images that you can zoom in on, you can manipulate around, you can zoom in. But probably my favorite feature of it is where I can right click, I can mode always on top, so that way I can paint and still look. But also if I go to, okay, canvas, so I'm right clicking, go to canvas, grayscale, it gives me just the grayscale values of what we're looking at, which is helpful. What's up, Chris? Glad you could join us, man. I really like PureRef a lot. I do recommend it simply because you can make it as big or small as you want. You can resize stuff, zoom in and out. You can move the canvas around. A lot of cool stuff. So basically, let me walk through kind of what I've done so far on the deal. Let me go to canvas, grayscale right here. So let me actually move this from being always on top. Cool. So what we have right now is just kind of the basic. I did the basic sketch. I've also done some color overlay right here, but I'm not happy with the values yet. So that's why right now we're working again on the values. I already did a sketch. I did an initial kind of render pass, then just to kind of get a feel for what everything was and where everything was. And now we're going in and we're detailing it based on the logic of the light. So we're going to have this nice mountain range. I need to fix the perspective on the mountains first off, but basically I just want to block in the mood. I want to get nice kind of sunsetty, as you can see, sort of like sunsetty purples and oranges in here. A nice kind of rim light to outline his profile, because that's one of the more famous things of Superman, is he has that majestic like presence about him. So having that, and you can actually see coming over here, it like all my grayscale stuff that I'm doing is going over top here, so it looks weird. But we're gonna go and we're gonna adjust those. This is really just about value at this moment. It's easy to put color on top of value, and it's something that I teach. I taught some people on Discord. I've taught some personal like mentees and stuff. But there's a saying that value does the work and color gets the credit. So just think of that, like value does all the heavy lifting literally, because you can make some striking stuff just in black and white, and you'll see the emotion of it is still there, but you can see the color does add it pops, and I do enjoy that. I enjoy what the color brings to it, but it's not necessary to make a good composition. So I'm just going to use, and right here I'm actually using my free brush pack on this one, just to prove that you don't need, I mean, brushes are great and brushes are awesome and important, but my free brush pack of the May Sketch a Day is literally, it's literally what I use like 90% of the time now, because it has all the greatest hits and no extra filler, so, which is nice. Let me come over here. I've been doing diagonal texture as my main one, and so what I do is like, see, you can see some of these brush strokes, which is fine, but I'm actually going to come in, do some of this, get these values in, and we're really gonna kind of clean this to get rid of some of the excess shapes. So my whole thing, I love the painterly look. I'm a painter by like training, but in order to get the type of jobs that I want, I need, yo, Leonis, what's up? So guys, all the art crew, you guys are OGs. You guys are, you know, the real deal. Leonis has followed my account for like 6 years now, which is crazy. Leonis, he's a Final Fantasy speedrunner. Dude's awesome at what he does. But it's so good to see the old and the new and like everybody mixing. Yeah, we'll knock out Lovely Paint as well, and I can show you kind of the best ways that I use that brush. But really, my heavy hitter, man, my heavy hitter's diagonal texture. Lately, it's just, it does the thing. Because like what you could do here, let me save, because I have so many layers right now. I say a lot. I have like 14 layers. But I might want to bring it down to 2. I might want to bring it down to values and then color, and that's it. That way it's gonna, that way it is gonna actually work pretty well right here. But like I said, I've done all this so far with just my free brush set. And this lighting's weird. What do I want to fix? Because I know I'm going to be fixing a little bit of everything, kind of go all around the painting and stuff, but I mean, I feel okay with it. I just need to like finalize it. You know, I need to like really lock stuff in there and get it going. I probably need brighter brights down here on the horizon line. And that will also be, because right here, this makes no sense. Like logically, why would his rim light be the brightest bright? That doesn't make sense. Like, this rim light only is happening because this light exists. So how could the bounce light be brighter than the light source? That doesn't make any sense. So let's get pure white and let's figure this out. So also, by the way, I want to show you guys navigator mode. I love the navigator tool because it lets me see the zoomed out perspective quickly. So if we know it's going to be like around here, and this is where pure ref actually comes in pretty handy. So let me just start blocking in some pure white that way. And then I'm doing my art stuff. You can say hi to everyone. So we're using white right here. I'm making a picture of Superman.
Ooh.
You see that? Check this out. Look at that one.
He is gonna put some color on it.
Yeah, see the colors on it right there? That's right. That's what it is. So we got that right there. But yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm fixing it so all of it makes sense, because I'm going to send this to the people that make Superman.
And Wonder Woman.
And Wonder Woman, that's right. We're probably going to do a Wonder Woman one as well. So
and I'll help him with some that
Sure will.
detail because Wonder Woman's like my favorite.
It's your favorite. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's your favorite.
Yeah.
That's a good choice for a favorite. So what we're gonna do, let me bring up, there we go. So
That looks more like...
yeah, so this is a picture of mountains. This is what I'm using as my reference. That way I can look at the mountains and make sure they look right on the painting.
You know what you should do instead of mountains? You should make Superman flying like above the water. Like you should make waves instead of mountains.
Waves instead of mountains?
Yeah.
You know what I might do? Because I'm going to do Batman, I'm going to do Superman, and then I'm going to do a guy called the Green Arrow. And I bet the Green Arrow would look really cool on a big rock with all the water splashing on it.
Maybe I can help him with the rock and water, and then we'll see how everything turns out at the end.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, see, right now what we're doing is we are trying to figure out the best way to light this. So see how these mountains right here? See how it's almost like a little bucket and it catches all that light? Mm-hmm. We kind of got to do the bucket thing over here to make it look right, okay?
Okay. Oh, so what you're saying is you're trying your best to like follow the picture so it can be like a cool background for your Spider-Man picture.
Or Superman. Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. But yeah, you got it. You nailed it. So we're going to do that. Come back to the values. And let's see. They have the shapes like coming up and kind of curvy. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to block it in right here.
Can I try?
Yeah, in just a second. Let's see. We got this. So if we got that. Okay. And then you see how the other rocks are a little darker right there? Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of a darker color right there. Mm-hmm. Now, can you make that shape? It's a weird shape. But do it right there by his foot. Yeah.
Right here?
No, right there. Yep, right there.
Okay, what shape?
So the shape right here. There you go. Yeah. See that? There you go. There you go. Perfect.
And then I can color it in.
Yeah. You can color it right in. There you go. Perfect.
And I'm doing it a little off the lines. Okay.
That's you know what's good about painting? You can do that off the lines, and it's kind of a nice
That's so cool.
thing to do. See? So now we have the shape of those mountains.
In the back.
Yeah, in the back, and then the light is coming over there, so we're gonna hit those right here.
And then let's see those mountains in color.
In color? Okay. So color, it's still gonna look kind of weird.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
See? That's neat, huh? Okay. So
yeah, it's so cool.
cool. So okay, we're gonna keep going. This is what Daddy does all day. He tries to paint pretty mountains and make stuff look right and good to go.
Yeah. God.
What's up, bro? This one's a full painting. So I did reference some poses for Superman just because his muscles are ridiculous. But
yeah.
So did that, and then also on the Pure Ref got. So yeah, this one's just all painting. I wanted to do some sketches.
And if you can show the mountain picture.
Show the mountain picture. Okay.
And as you can see, like, right here on the picture, like, it's a different color than the rest of it, so it's okay if you're not an expert painter painting mountains.
Yeah.
but just know that you could be anything.
Yeah, you can be anything if you try your best.
Yeah.
That's right. It's all about trying. So... trying to think. So we're gonna add more white down here because this bounce light needs to work, and then I'm also gonna bounce light through.
Ooh, do you know what would be great also in the background? We could add blue like to the sky and then add a sun.
Oh, well, see, the sun's kind of blocked by all the clouds. You see how this one's cloudy too, right here? So the sun's actually kind of out in the distance somewhere, but that's what's giving all the light down here. Yeah. So, but what we could, what we could add, like up here, we could add some birds later. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that looks so cool.
Because if Superman can fly, then birds can fly. Right?
And he could like hang out with the birds. Ooh, we could even maybe draw an eagle or something.
Maybe,
that would be super cool.
We can put them down here. That way the eagle looks like it's kind of flying, and then the viewer can look at the eagle, and that will point towards Superman.
Ooh, and in our next painting, when we do like Wonder Woman, we could like add a ground. We could like add a ground and then add some like trees and then add some bird nests and then make some birds and eagles flying.
Oh yeah,
that would be a pretty background.
That would be for Wonder Woman. That'd be very pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna do the not fun part of just rendering. Okay, I'm just gonna do that part. But thank you for your help. Love you.
And I will see you in the Wonder Woman painting.
In the Wonder Woman.
So let me know when that's gangster.
Okay. It might be a day or so, but we'll be good. All right. So we got the expert tips from the real artist in the family. So what we're going to do, this is kind of a good lesson on light. And here's the thing, guys. I guess I could tell you all what my big assignment is. It's still under NDA, but I'm allowed to actually tell you who I work for or have this next big thing happening for. But just know, even after that, like, I'm learning all the time. If you're on the Discord, which I highly recommend, if you're not on it, go on it. We chat about the trials and tribulations and stuff. But I am very excited to tell you all that my first big client is Adidas, and I worked with them on an upcoming commercial that should be airing in August. And it's pretty dope. The stuff they've shown me, I was like, oh, what? So yeah, it's official. That's going to be my first professional concept art credit. And I want to say the July issue of Imagine FX magazine, I will be featured in the FX Pose, which is awesome because I'm such a huge mark for all of the Imagine FX stuff. I've been a reader of Imagine FX for over a decade, and it's kind of surreal to me. Like, I'll do a stream whenever I get the issue, but like, I might actually cry. I don't know, because all my heroes have been in there. Frank Frazetta and Craig Mullins, and so I would be in. I'm in good company, man, and like, I'm honored to kind of. They thought of me as kind of part of the next gen, so that's rad. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, it's just, I still can't really believe it. Yeah, so I'm liking the more. Let's see. There we go. So I'm liking the stronger silhouette right here. It actually reminds me a little bit of like Spawn, which is ironic, doing an Image Comics style character with a. But you'll see right here what I'm doing. I'm not actually using reference for anything right now. I'm just kind of making it look cool, and then that way, I'll see that probably. Yeah, I could do that. I could bring those clouds up a little bit. But right now I'm trying to work on my confidence level of just working from imagination and then coming back with a reference later and trying to figure that stuff out, Famous guy back when we played, back when I got angry at Final Fantasy XIV, that is totally true. Okay, so if that comes up here, and then you see these clouds are not even across, so let's do it like right here. Point to his giant arms. And I know this anatomy is not where it needs to be, But, well, see, this is where I'm having a hard time. Because this side is fine. This looks like a tangent to me. And what a tangent is whenever your eye is playing tricks on you. Like optical illusion almost. Like, this to me doesn't feel right. Like going from this to really light to really dark. So maybe I can, kind of how this is, maybe if I get the cloud brush and then enlarge it a little bit and go like, well, but see, it doesn't feel like the clouds go back in the distance. I need to sell the idea of like long distance. Here, let me do this. There we go. And then maybe here. Maybe got that. Something like that. Maybe. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do something drastic. Let's lighten the clouds over here. And hope for the best. Let me actually undo that one because it went over the went over our main idea. So got that. Let's hit there. There we go. So now we're just in kind of that sketchy phase. You'll notice that I'll go a lot from refining to sketchy to refining to color to value to sketch. Like, I don't work, I probably should, but as of right now, I don't work in like a very linear progression. Not like, okay, here's my sketch and now it's blocked in and now I put the lighting and then I put the forms and then I don't do that. I kind of do all of it all at the same time, which probably is not a great method, but do as I say, not as I do, you know? So another thing I know I want to do, basically the cape is blocking his body, the front part of his body, from getting hit with direct light. So I need to darken his overall values in his core because that's where he's not getting really any light whatsoever. However, I do need to lighten some of the parts of his cape that are catching the light, because his cape, it's thick, but it's still see-through. You can still see, it's called subsurface scattering. It's whenever light hits an object and can, like a leaf, if you go outside and hold a leaf up to the sun, you'll see the inside of the leaf because of how light penetrates. So we'll do this. Let me go up. And for values, I really like, you know, of course, staying in black and white. That's value. But I just like using the value slider. So if I color pick, if I hold Alt and color pick, and I know I need to get lighter, you'll see the value slider right down here. I'll just grab this and then crank it a little bit. And then, see what I mean? You'll see a little bit of change. So what we'll have to do, I think a lot of this light will be like that. Well, see, but then this is where the physics of light come into play. So it's like, but also his shoulder and it's wrapping around. So this is the type of stuff you would really want reference for. I'm going to try to wing it just to see, just to get the overall idea, but just know this is the type of thing you really want reference for. Actually, let me get that. Yeah, something like that, because it's going to wrap around. This comes in, kind of a light touch like that. And then let me do that. And this is one of those things that you could spend forever rendering out details. Just forever. But if it's getting the point across, if it's nice to look at, if you don't really know what to do next, you're probably done, you know? That seems to be my go-to. There's that. So here, now that we can get good angles of everything, I'll just hide my mug, and then we'll work from here. Let me save before I get too far into this. I'll save. Okay. Oh no, hopefully the stream didn't lose for everybody.
Ashley Flowers, and there's nothing I love more than stumbling upon a mystifying puzzle.
Cool. Yeah, I'm actually running my internet through a Wi-Fi adapter to my desktop, so that might be part of it. It may just kind of hiccup and hitch out a little bit. So this is actually my first time ever streaming with the Wi-Fi card. I usually have a landline plugged in, but because of the new house, our connectors and stuff are over on the other side. So it's like, oh, well, I have a decent Wi-Fi router or like a hub. So we're going to test it out, but hopefully it works. Hopefully it's still somewhat stable.
Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
At Kroger, we know there's no...
And just to go over kind of what I'm doing right now, I'm really just kind of rendering these shapes in. Not super hardcore, like not super anatomically correct, like Alex Ross style or anything, but just enough to really get it to read well, darken up some of these darks, see the abs and stuff, sort of like smooth those out and things like that. But if anyone has any questions or you just want to chat and hang out, like hit me up in the, hit us up in the chat itself. I will go mute every once in a while because, Gracie's playing arcade games and our dog's walking around and her little nails are clacking around. So, but I'll be here and I can keep the webcam on and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, I'll also check in as I'm going between steps. It's just what you're seeing now is kind of the grunt work of it. It's more making things look the way I think they should. Just making things happen. But the fun stuff's going to be whenever we merge all of the layers together and then paint over what we already have, which sounds counterintuitive, but I think you'll like what the outcome is. But yeah, I'll go mute again real quick. But yeah, all I'm really going to be doing is just value rendering. Probably bringing up a little bit of like, see how like Superman's leg right here, like I like how the light is catching, stuff like that. But we'll keep grinding it. So yeah, usually the way so here's what I'll do. I'll hit save. So usually what I'll do, sorry for that clacking in the background. Let me go to new. Hey baby, easy on the buttons, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. You're doing good. Doing great. Okay. So let's say, because I think, this one's at 4,500. So what I'll do, I will come in here, first layer. This is where I'll photo bash. I'll bring in some stuff, or like what I've been doing lately is like pattern stamp tooling. So I'll get the pattern stamp. I'll get a pattern. Like here's the one I made for. Let's see. Oh yeah, my the two like Anthem Destiny style characters. Do that. I'll come in here. Oh yeah, and I'll kind of start on a background layer and just start putting shapes in, or let's say I did want to make Superman. I could make that same profile shot of him. I'll actually block in large shapes first. just to see if stuff reads okay like this. Usually it's a pretty good, I think it was like this shape, this leg came up there, this one came down here, and then this is already giving me some details, right? And then I'm like, oh, well then if I want to kind of come over this, use a basic brush, and then come in with like either, I made this one called Best Pencil Ever. This is really my main sketcher in here. So that way if I'm like, okay, well yeah, and then his cape comes here, this flies down, it also swoops back around here. Then if I have mountains, you know, I'll do super ugly looking sketches and stuff. But then that's whenever I actually start coming in and I can start refining, like, oh, it looks like he's facing this way. So if I wanted to make the profile, you know, if I want to make his profile like this, make his head come up here, you know, maybe block in a skull like that. And you'll see that it's not correct at first. Like, I'm not worried about things being right as soon as I start blocking in. It's more so like, can I get the attitude that I'm thinking of whenever I come in, and like, okay, so if his head's pointing that way, I know his neck is still straight down here, which means his body, if he's like turning his head, his chest can still be there. But another like cool trick is, you know, if those are his shoulders coming this way, and you'll see that the line is like that, I know that his hips have to be the other way, like that, just to bring a sense of like dynamism to it. So like, you'll see his shoulders here, but then you'll see that his hips are coming the other direction. That's just how the human body, the anatomy of it works. So then you have the chest right here, but then you have here's kind of the joints in your hips right here. Have this, bam, bring it down. So it's not right, but at this point, it doesn't matter. But the nice thing about having just goofy colors here, in my opinion, is it lets you start seeing things before things are even there. So it lets you look at what value would be, what it just lets your mind kind of work itself out, because the human mind is great at filling in the gaps. I think really our job as an artist is to fool the viewer into seeing something that's not really there. I think it's like a magic trick. I think you use certain rules and you can like, what we're doing is we're taking the 3D world, or our perception of the 3D world, and then, Mike, what's up? And then converting that to a two-dimensional plane. So that's why stuff like one-point perspective, it sounds really boring, but like, the fundamentals are everything. I think my next Gumroad tutorial is probably going to be a mix on this mixer brush type thing, but then also really the fundamentals, because like every problem, like, okay, if we look at what we have right here, every problem that I would need to fix with this is a fundamental. It's either anatomy, perspective, form, value, light. We're not even to the point of like color and edges. To me, that's a finishing step. Color and edges is kind of finishing. That's where you're tying everything together. You're giving the piece a personality. Was the figure in several layers or one? I can never paint fluid, but on tons of it. Yes. So, Devil Friend, that's a good point. I usually stick on one layer whenever I do the sketch. Sometimes what I'll do, like I can do this quick reference. I'll do like this. Let me hide. Let me bring this down. Turn always on top off. Let me do, let's just do 1280 by 720. Sometimes what I'll do if I'm doing a quick sketch and I want to really help myself later is I will work on 4 main layers to block stuff in. This is really helpful with like landscapes. So let's say I have the background, I have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. of course, with layers, the closer or the more on top they are, the more they're up front in the digital workflow. So I just know if I want to work on this on layer 1, which is actually the third layer down, this can be my background / distant horizon line type stuff. And what I'll do is I'll work at almost a white. So white is our background. Then I'll do something like this. I will get a big brush, and this is how we'll like block in. So let's do like something like that. Let me get. Okay, yeah, that one's better. So this one's like graphite, kind of a charcoaly brush. So say I wanted to do like a mountain rangey type thing. I wanted to do some cool shapes, like this, right? So then I can do that. I can go to Classic Soft Round and just fill this stuff in. So you still have a little bit of texture, you still have a little bit of stuff right there. And then as we get closer to the viewer, I'll get a little bit darker on the value, and then just start blocking in something else to give that. Then on this layer, since this is our foreground, I'll get really dark. We'll get like, and this is just a way for me to be able to see big shapes, or, and you'll notice that it's still not exact, right? It's still not, but like, let's say we wanted to do a jungle environment, and then I wanted to add something back here on this layer 1. I will just click back on layer 1. And what's nice is you can just always hide it to see what stuff looks like with or without it. So basically this is just me setting stuff up. So then let's say, okay, I got this. This is going to be where a lot of trees are. And since we know our values are right, it still has that look of depth. And then same thing here, layer 2, let me color select this. And now because of perspective, things will be a little bit bigger. But they can still recede into the background. And then you come up here, right here, and here's the secret. If you want to know how to make concept art like immediately, just do big shapes, block them in, and then usually you want to put your main idea on this layer 1. Usually, like if you want to do the big vast landscapes, what you'll see, okay, let's say we have all these shapes. So our big thing that we want to look at is going to be this. It's going to be a weird, like, circular something. So here we have this, and this is where you can do the fun thing of like, oh, there's our main attraction. Now let me put person in here. And of course, person, since it's concept art, has to hold a stick. Because stick salesman is like a trope for a reason. So there's your basic concept art, right? And then if you wanted to go above that, then I'll get even darker. And then just start putting in values that are right next to the camera. The closer to black you get, the closer... Yep, there he is. There's Stick Salesman in the flesh. And of course, anything that's closer and closer to you, you're gonna be able to like put in, you know what I mean? And like this is where you can do stuff like people talk about. Oh, don't use foliage brushes or whatever. Use them, man. Watch this. Let me go to Sparth. This is a Sparth pack that I bought. Okay, so he has like pebbles. Okay, I'm gonna get some of these right here. I'm gonna get some of that. Let me go to the rocks. Let me get that. Let me do a mountain rock. Bring this down. Do some of these. Big shape for a mountain. So let's actually put that one way back here on layer 1. There you go. And like Sparth is an absolute master of the craft. But just know, like, how do you think he does 10 paintings a day? Like, for real, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta use the textures, man. Just because you're using a texture doesn't mean you're not making art. I mean, never forget that. So, like, because you're the artist, you have control, you know what I mean? Like, so, and then we know white is going to be here. So, just for our rock textures, you can do that. You're really bringing in that color from the background to show how far in the distance. And now, since we have that shape right here, let's take the color from number 1 and then lighten this stuff up. And then we can take layer 3, and of course, like we said, we're going to take layer 2's stuff, take that, come up to layer 3. Let's do small bush here. See, and it's kind of stampy, but this is where you can kind of go and do your own thing. Okay, pine tree. Seeing how that kind of goes out into the ether. Pine tree, so the template right here. And then doing your top one, big brush. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird, like, there's a lot of weird people thinking that everyone has to be freaking Monet or something. And it's like, no, man, to get your basic idea down, you can do that. And then what I'll do, like, let's say I kind of like where that is, I merge all those layers. I'll just merge them and be like, okay, now I can go in and draw a mountain and draw trees where I want them. But just, I work very much in a way that I like to see something before I commit to it. You know what I mean? I like to look at it and be like, okay, does that look right? Like, because I don't feel bad. Like, I just close that out without saving. I don't feel bad because I could make something just like that in about 2 minutes. But that's where a lot of your decision making takes place, is where's your light coming from? What big shapes do you have? Do you want to tell a story? What story is it? Is it inside? Is it outside? I mean, all your basics, because that's going to inform everything else. Well, if it's inside, and like you can see here, we got the arcade cabinet, we got like a window back here. Those are our main light sources, right? I have a bounce light up front here that you can see through here. So where is this coming from? How does it inform our surroundings? That's how I think a majority of the time. I'm like, okay, how is this all working together? Is it all talking to each other? So you're never not in problem-solving mode. Just whenever you're in render mode, you've already made your big decisions. You can always change. You can always change your decisions and where the light comes from, but it does affect everything else. So, like, if I were to be like, oh, actually, I want the light to come from up front and the background to be really dark, and not have the sunset and stuff like that, I might just have to go and re-sketch this and re-render forms.
I'm gonna go for turbo.
Oh.
Like it says, no more turbo, and I'm gonna do turbo.
You gonna do turbo? Yeah, that's a good idea.
What does turbo do?
What does turbo do? I think you get to do more moves faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two negative.
Ooh, I'm playing against I am
Oh, that's cool. Let's see. So where was I? Oh yeah. Now I know Milo's probably still here. So let's do Brush Pack 2020. Let's do some of that lovely paint texture. I know this is his favorite brush. It's one of my favorite brushes too. I really like how it allows for happy accidents. I'm a really big fan of that. So let's go to always on top here. So let's do the lovely paint with his leg rendering. I know this is not the same angle, so what I'm actually going to do, I think it's, I hold Control, Alt, and then move the, is that right? Oh no, that's zoom. Alt, Shift, and over? Yes, okay, so that just spins that. So this is kind of the lighting, even though it's a different leg. So I'll have to juxtapose and flip the muscle, but the lighting is correct here. But yeah, happy little accidents literally make that part of your process. Make that part of your process. I have gotten more compliments on the stuff that I didn't have exact control over everything than I did. So that's why it's so important. And in fact, just to prove my point, check this out. So I have all these right here. I have the stuff, layers, I have all this. Let me just delete that, group in contents. And then let me go here. And then let me merge layers. Oh, let's see. Actually, let me do this. Even better. Let me delete all of these layers because there's really no turning back at this point. So we can do boom. I'll keep background there just as kind of a, oh, because the layer is locked. Oh, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, now all we have now is the values and the color. So now we're really committed, okay? Which is not a big deal. It's just, you sometimes you just have to be like, okay, this is it. Now let's keep going. So what I'm gonna do, I like that. Let me turn this back into grayscale. So not a lot of value. I think like 4 main values. You got your darkest right here up front to show the definition and kind of show that form of the knee. So let's do that. Let's grab this. Let's get this, and we got our lovely paintbrush. And you'll see this actually blocks out pretty solid. Okay, now I have to remember to do that, and then yeah. So here's this. Something like that. And I actually don't like zoom or being that zoomed in. Just because I like seeing a lot of my piece at the same time to see how the decisions I'm making, how they affect the context of everything. So like now his muscle looks ridiculous. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually bring that down a little bit by kind of getting these values closer together. So it looks like there's that kind of main line coming down here. I don't want it to be that hardcore though. And then it looks like the brighter stuff is kind of here on and on things like this, I actually really like to do contour lines. So like I said before, I like to go from painting to sketching to painting to sketching, back and forth, back and forth. This is one of those because I consider contour lines part of sketching, but you can paint in those. So contour lines are the lines that actually, like if you draw cylinders, or if you've ever done those exercises where you draw a box and then you draw a line through the box and it has to match and all that stuff. So basically, let me do this right here. Let me go to let's do textured line. Yeah. So basically what his leg is doing is like he has his main part right here, and then like I guess it's because like he has big ass legs. So like that, right? You know what I mean? Like they may even, that may even be more like this, and then as oh, that perspective's way off though. Just to try to find that shape of what his leg's doing. Because that's gonna inform where our light is coming from. So the big thing is really just a big cylinder. But you have the straw, the little tiny striations. So you have that. You kind of see how that's like that. And then this is kind of like that. So you have that weird... So yeah, you can see right there, my lines are all wrong. So if I do that and I just keep this shape, now what I can do is I can kind of okay, oh, so those are that way, so these come down. And then... So it's like that. It's almost like a slinky.
Oh, I meant Captain.
You know.
No.
So it's like a slinky, and then the line, well, the line kind of comes through there. Okay. Yeah. And don't worry in your own art if you take detours like this all the time, because you're just information. There's so much information. You can't really fight a fire unless you know where it is. Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you, baby. So at that, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna come in. Do that. And see, every once in a while, just to get myself excited again, I'll turn the color back on. Just to be like, oh yeah, it's gonna look cool. Whenever I start getting it all painted in and get rid of the lines, and but you'll see right here. Oh, and a quick little pro tip: if you want to get a quick value pass, let's say you're just working in color and you're like, something doesn't feel right, something might not be right. Let me figure this out. To make something with just value, what I like to do is, let's say I have this. I'm going to make a new layer over everything. I'm going to fill it with black or white. Pure black or pure white. Okay, 100% opacity. Use black, use white, whatever. And then I'm going to come up over on the blending mode. And this isn't just for Photoshop. This is for everything. And choose color. There you go. And then what I like to do here, I'll actually go select all, copy, merged. So anything that's visible, you're going to see it. And then what I like to do is I like to go edit, paste, and then you're going to see right down here. So I'll get rid of that black right there. So you'll see now on this, I have my own value pass. Then you can just come over the top of a black and white layer. Once again, do either color layer or multiply layer. Multiply layer will make things a little darker. So I recommend that to really see what the real value transfer is. But for here, let's say, oh, I know this will be color, and I know this is going to be kind of like a bluish color. Or let's say you have Pure Ref open, and you're like, okay, canvas, turn off grayscale. Okay, so I need this color blue, kind of like a blue genie blue. And then you're on the color layer over your value layer. There you go. The nice thing about doing color overlay is you keep your values. You can see it's really kind of crazy. Let me then go over to red. And this isn't, these aren't going to be your final colors, but just as a block in, it's fine, right? Because what you'll do, let's change it from color to multiply. You see how way darker that is? Pure Ref, yes. So let me get you a link to it. I love Pure Ref, and if you have questions on how to use it, let me know. It might be pureref.com. Yes. Yes, I love PureRef. Oh my gosh. I cannot imagine, I can't imagine working without it, really. Because it's almost like having a second monitor that never goes away on top of your stuff. So like I'm crazy, I have 3 monitors, but if you just have the one, or if you're on a laptop or whatever, it's awesome, it's free. I cannot sing its praises enough. So it's really good, and probably the coolest feature. Let's check this out. So I actually have some, let me bring this over here. So right now, let me go to mode, always on top. I was actually looking at references for backlit portraits of men because I wanted to see how the light would fall on Soup's face. So you'll see like kind of how I did this, like, okay, where would the light really hit? What would it do with his hair? So I brought this up, right? I brought up this, and I want to say the one that I looked at that I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like this one was a good one because it kind of shows how that light wraps around. But where was the other one? I think this was a good one because it kind of shows that it whites out, you see? Check this out. So with PureRef open, I have PureRef right here. I'm going to zoom out. Watch this. I'm going to click on this picture. Oh, wait. Need to put always on top. Mode, always on top. So that way I can click around, I can do all this stuff, and it never goes away. You can grab this picture and drag it onto PureRef, and now it's there. So you can make your own ref board. And then it follows the same guidelines as everything else. Right click, go to mode, or go to a canvas, grayscale, bam. So there you go. You can do things. You can flip it horizontal axis. You can rotate it at 25-degree interval, 45-degree interval, something like that. You can resize it. Then it also has features to where you can like right click. If you go to canvas optimize, it stacks everything for you, or you can go to canvas, or images arrange, and then optimal. And it's gonna stack your pictures, actually it's optimal already. It'll stack your pictures in a grid, and then you can like resize the window, zoom in, zoom out, everything you need to do. So yeah, you don't even need to download images. You can just have it open and be like, oh, I like that light reference. Where's the other one that I saw? Where was he at? Where was the dude? Or that one's not bad either, because you can see kind of how, yeah, kind of the shape of his skull. And then click, drag, and you'll notice it drags it, and it's already in grayscale. So it's like, it's so good. I love PureRef. I think there's something just like it on the iPad. I need to check it out whenever I'm doing like a Procreate or something like that. So yeah, so see how you can see, okay, so this gives me some good info, because now I can see, okay, it's not all like a pure white line around everything. There's some depth to what the light is doing through this guy's hair, and also not all of his head is catching the light. Like a lot of it is, so you can see his jaw bone right here. So, but the way Soup's head is pointed, this won't exactly match. You know what I mean? Like, this is closer, but see, even he's kind of looking down the barrel while Superman's doing the side profile, right? So let me clean this up a little bit. I just like a clean palette. I like a clean setup. So yeah, my colors are over top right here. But we're just gonna work on value, because that working in black and white, guys, makes everything so much easier, because you don't have to fight with yourself on like, did I make the right choice? It just makes it very apparent if you've made the right choice whenever you're in black and white.
Hey, Wendy here from Science Versus. Our show.
What do I want to do?
Internet fights to find out what's real, what's not, and what's somewhere.
And I also have. Let me look up more Superman covers.
Questions like.
Portrait of a Young Man. Okay, I'm gonna look at more Superman art because I do like seeing how other artists tackle the same problems you run into. There's nothing wrong with using other artists as reference. In fact, I mean, I swear by John Singer Sargent and Anders Zorn. So do it. You know what I mean? Like make that happen. Superman cover images or cover art? Let's do cover art. Yeah, so see, now we're getting into like that's very flat shading. It's very gradient style, very comic book because it prints well. It's less painterly, but this is still giving me pretty good information. You know what I mean? Like,
luckily, our delivery and free pickup make it
pretty good info about where the light, and like right here, there's a good one. Kind of where his face is there. So they simplify the values, but that's pretty important to be able to do. And see, here's a big one. So this is kind of matching our lighting. You know what I mean? Like, so if I wanted to adopt this color scheme, fair play, you know, I could do that. But, oh, that's my snippet tool for Twitter and Discord. Because like right now I kind of have this. So as you can see, my colors are not as crazy vibrant as those. Now, I could probably do that and make it more eye-catchy. Because I do have a very bad tendency, and it's something that I really need to focus on. I do have a rough tendency to be kind of flat with my colors, but I think it's because of my values. Because my values are still fairly. There's a lot of midtone here. There's a lot of midtone. In fact, perfect example. Let's use PureRef to its fullest potential. Let's drag this over. Look at those values. Like, let me move this up so then we can. And if you double click on an image, by the way, it centers it in your view. Just as a nice. But look at that. Look, it goes from almost like probably a 7 or an 8 on the value scale to like a 1. So you have that full range of value, you know. So what we could do, we could just go in and try to manually paint everything, or we could use oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, where did my layer box go? Or you can duplicate, use a curve layer or a curve deal, bring this down, and now we have our whites and our blacks. So yeah, look at this. I think it's called a histogram. Look at how many midtones. Look at how dark this image is. We don't have hardly any lights. Hardly any light. So if we move and you see how this darkens everything up right here. If we do this, and then if I bring this over, it's not perfect, but it is bringing a little bit of life. You know what I mean? Like into what we're doing. So like even just this, I mean, that's kind of a major shift. So let's kind of split the difference. So if we started right here and we have this maybe. Cool. And then what we can do with this curves layer, or actually let's see. So that actually changed it a little bit. Now you can see a lot of this detail back here is gone. But that's kind of fine, because if you look at this, a lot of this detail is gone. You know what I mean? Like, not a ton of detail. Maybe that's part of it to really give it that vibrant light look, is to lose detail. And because it's further in the distance, we can't see it anyway. But you will notice that does have some lovely yellows, and I have nothing like that. All my stuff is white, going into like purple. So there's no ambient light. There's no light from the world around us. We have our direct light source, but we don't have ambient or bounce light. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should use this color palette. Now, the one feature I wish PureRef did have is that you could use it and integrate it so where you could alt-click and pick the colors. But what we can also do, here's another thing about PureRef that's really cool. Let me bring this down. Don't need that to be that big. Don't need that to be that big. He can be right here. I want soups to be bigger. There we go. So, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to image, arrange, optimal, image, or canvas, optimize, boom. Now something cool here. Right click, save, export scene. I'm going to do Superman scene 1. Save. Then I'm going to export. It's going to have the background. It's going to have the borders. That's fine. And then we're going to go export. Exporting scene. So what this does, this makes an exact copy of this palette that we have right here, the template of images. And you can actually come in here. So now let's go to images or mode. One click always on top. Now we can open. Open. Now we do have it in Photoshop. Come over here to arrange, 2 up vertical. So you can see our picture right here. And then our other image, our deal right here, to where now we can go in and be like, you know what color I really like? I really like that color. Then I can come in here. Oh, that's on the curves layer. Ah, serves me right. And see, because my values are different, the colors don't transfer, but this gives me a decent look. Another thing I can do, if I really just want to kind of, I don't know, I call it a cheat, but it's not really. It's like I would know how to do this manually, but just to save time. If I do this, cool. Let me come in here. Edit, copy, new, edit, paste. Cool. So now I'm going to come in here, select all, edit, copy merged, edit, paste, because I'm going to use this fancy pants thing here in Photoshop. Image, adjustments, match color. Bam. So this does its best estimate of getting this color palette and applying it here. You know what I mean? So that's nice. Like, I think that actually did quite a bit of cool personality stuff. So if I hit OK there, oh yeah, and I mean, look at this. Like, I'm gonna match color. It's gonna take it a minute. Boom. Cool. And then, because we have this, and this is our new value, this is our new color, this is our new everything, we can genuinely get rid of everything below here. Then do our fun little trick where we have a brand new deal. Edit, fill, black. Change this into color. And you see now that the values are they're a little muddier, they're a little jankier. They don't quite look as good as it used to, but that's actually good. We want to shake ourselves out of it. Then you go select, all, edit, copy merged, edit, paste. We can call this value. Delete this, move it under our color, call this color, change the color mode to color. Bam. Now we're back to the exact same setup we were at before, right? So same thing here. If I want to do this and make sure I get the same values to make sure the values match, like the lights and the darks, I can go same thing. Edit, did a new layer above that, edit fill, black or white is fine. Go over here, go to color. Cool. Now, whenever I color pick, I will be color picking let me actually go to the Make Sketch a Day. Bam. Diagonal texture. I just love it. It works real fast. But now I can get exactly what I need. So, okay, I want to change that. I want to get that one right here. Come over here and paint. And see, now I know that these values are going to match. And see, now we're also getting more information about there's more of a curve here, right? It's actually, those contour lines are getting hit with that light. So for us, that's good because it gives us more information to be able to render that form. Same thing here. Smooth that over. Kind of a missing. There you go. And then that light got caught for sure. And then that's most away from the light. And see, like, this gets pretty dark actually. So if I hit over here and then, yeah, kind of clean this up a little bit. And his cape is actually darker here. Gotcha. Render that out. Yeah, it's funny, even using that value pass of adjusting it to match the other Superman image, it's already looking more solid. Like, it's like he has substance to his body, you know? And then what we can actually do here, check this out. No, this is... soft deal. Bring that in. Cool. See, and I'm wondering if this is a tangent or not. I think it is. And then do they go direct all the way black? Pretty close. Probably not all the way though. Okay. Something like this. That. Okay. So I think we're at least getting to a point to where things are starting to make a little more sense. And so if I get rid of that. Okay. I need to get rid of those crazy value lines right there. We want to make sure that the values don't get too muddy, or like there's not a huge shift from light to dark back there, because we don't want any of that to happen. Because see how this is like lighter and then it goes immediately to like pitch black line art? We want to get rid of those, at least for the background. With Superman, it's not as much of a big deal because he's, you know, a comic book guy. Like, it's fine if he has that. He has that look. But, like, you don't want your background to overtake the importance of our main character, which is Soups. Okay. Let's see.
Learn more about the albums you love with Dissect, a serialized music podcast from Spotify. Each season of Dissect examines a single album, forensically dissecting one song per episode. Our newest season takes on Beyonce's monumental
Okay. So yeah, now I'm actually feeling better about the
musical and lyrical analysis. We follow Beyonce's
cape as well.
journey from subjugation.
See, the value stuff really makes it
on Spotify today, because great art deserves more than a swipe.
Hang out with. It's looking awesome. Thank you, Devil Friend. Thanks for hanging out, by the way. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'll be going live multiple times a week whenever I'm not working on client stuff, but I'll be on Discord and holler at me, you know, if you have any questions or just want to hang. But thank you so much for chilling.
Between yourself and others. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily. The best way forward is Lysol. What it takes to protect. Find
that nose, man. His nose.
Look around your home. Could your style use a refresh?
See, it's funny because this is at 100%. This is about the size that it is, and you look at it up close like that, and it's real ugly. It ain't nice and sharp like this is, you know. But I kind of like keeping the ugly strokes because it shows a little more decision making and personality. Not to say this doesn't have personality, because Lord knows it does. I mean, like, for God's sake, look at that. Like, look at those bright yellow, red, fire oranges. Oh, lovely. Lovely. But I definitely need to, cause see how these are white on mine? I need them to be this color. I need them to be, yeah, I totally need them to be kind of that yellowy, like this. So if I went over the color and I did this, see what I mean? Like, it's keeping the values fine. Oh. So yeah, has that cool stuff right here. And then you could even do it right here. Let's see, yeah, so like, and what's nice about that is you have yellow and then you have kind of that blue. So if we really wanted to get fancy, use our color theory, a little more orangey. have that. See, and this is still on that color layer. So we can always just come back in and do more edits. Like it's catching that light, you know. I'm probably going to get rid of that spot, actually. Let me value. I don't like how that one looked. And bring back that color. And see, now it's nice because now you just still have this, but the color or the values are the same. Oh, didn't mean to do it on value. Sorry, bro. There you go. Boom. Try to get some of that heat in there. Some of these. Those happen right there. Those happen. Yeah. So see, it's starting to, whenever you start adding those colors in, it really starts popping. But then you're also going to notice that kind of this outline right here is also going to be kind of this orangey color. So I want to say a lot of this is going, so if you mix the orange and the blue, I mean, you get gray technically. Because those are complementaries, see that? And then that's how that is. So kind of pushes it back a little bit. You got that. That needs to be a little more red. But I like that dark red because it's in the shadow. There we go. So stuff like this. It's coming together. It's coming together, you know. Not too shabby. I'm feeling good about it. Fairly good. Look at this. Oh no. That value is all wrong. Okay. So I think I might actually be done for tonight's stream. Save. Let's save that, but yeah, I think I'm done for the stream for this evening. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow. I still have some client stuff to do, and I hope this was fun though. This is a start of many more of these. So I'm glad it went fairly good. It was so great to see everybody, some old faces, some new faces. Love it. Be sure to hit up the Discord. I got all the links to all my stuff down below and on YouTube. If you're watching the YouTube archive, I thank you. Hope you learned something. It's more, my process is kind of chaotic, but hopefully watching me do this stuff, it'll help a little bit. Marco, my man. Oh yes, sir. We back and we got Baby Yoda. We got Baby Yoda. Dude, you gotta see the piece. You gotta see the piece before I so this is the one. Let me view, arrange. Let me consolidate all the tabs. There you go. That's what we're working on right now. We're gonna be sending this bad boy over to DC for their fan stuff. It's not done yet. I'd probably say we're at about the halfway mark ish. But hopefully it's coming together good. I got Injustice 1 and 2. I think they were giving Injustice 1 away for free. So I was like, what? But I got that. Thank you, Chris. No, dude, Chris, trust me, I am a king when it comes to lurking. I lurk in everybody's stream. So like, I just appreciate you being here, just hanging out, having fun. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about for me. Just hopefully some stuff came up, but if you had like questions and whatever, yeah, no worries. I'm King Lurker. But yeah, DC's having that fan zone thing or fandom thing next month. So they're doing an open call for fan art. So I was like, dude, I want to do fan art of like 3 people. I'm going to do Superman. I'm going to do Batman. So I can do the cyberpunky, he's on the building, posing all cool, rain, all that stuff. And then I was thinking about doing the Green Arrow. Because Green Arrow, yeah, he has the TV show, but you don't see a lot of fan art for Green Arrow. So I was thinking, hey, if we do them all 3 in different styles, maybe that could be something cool. But yeah, I got Injustice 1 for free. I think it's still free on like Xbox Live and PlayStation Store. But Injustice 2 was on sale not too long ago, so I picked that up as well. Yeah, man, like it's fun. It's fun. Some of it's looking good. I'm feeling okay about it. I like the way the clouds are looking and things like that. So yeah, I'm hoping so. I know they pick 27 people, and each one of those 27 people gets $2,000. So hey, I'd like $2,000. You know what I'm saying? But the competition's gonna be steep, dude. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to say bye to everybody. Yeah, about to go offline for tonight. Death metal for their comic. Ooh, that's true. I need to see. I'm excited about the whole fan zone deal. So, but
and I'm excited because I kind of want to do this later, so you can see my artwork.
So you can see, we'll do that one day. We'll do a Gracie stream, and that way you can give good art advice. And then
Well, I want my voice to be muted so they can only see my artwork.
Okay.
But I also want them to see me like this.
Oh yeah. Well, do that.
Later today?
No, not later today. We already did our stream today. We did this one today. Yeah, already did it. But death metal version. Oh yeah, because I saw the Batman. He has like the mask over it. Easy with that one. The mask over it with like the spikes sticking out. Awesome. But yeah, I'm hoping we get some art featured. I mean, even if it's just featured in the live stream, that's kick-ass. But yeah, you'll be proud, Marco. I'm doing more Marvel and X-Men, Children of the Atom. Trying to learn. Games are hard, man. But I've been on a binge on your fighting game stuff. I was watching your Dead or Alive 6 one earlier. But yeah, I've been... What are you doing? You creeper? What are you doing? You're a goof. Okay, we'll tell everyone bye because I'm about to get off here. I think we're going to make dinner in a little bit and all that stuff, so... Oh my god. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here. You goof. Get out of here. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. I'll be the microphone's right there because it's gonna go real high if you just. It's almost like you're yelling at them if you're that close to the mic. So we just got to be kind to people. All right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, we'll catch you later. We'll catch you in a few days. I'll be doing more art stuff, but I'll be posting on Insta and Twitter and all that stuff too. Yeah, man, I'm excited to be back. And now we'll be streaming. We'll definitely be streaming more. And now it's part of the gig, so that's exciting.
And I'm going to show you this treasure map.
Oh, you're gonna. Hey, let me get to the big one so they can see the treasure map that you got. There we go. Okay. Show them the treasure map. There's the camera right there. See right there. There it is.
So at the end, first it's Shark Cove, and then it's Porches Rock, because you see there's like a bunch of rocks here. And then it is Pistol Point.
Oh, Pistol Point? Is that what it is? Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And then Pirate Party.
Okay, tell everyone bye. And we'll see you guys probably in the next few days. Take care. Archive will be up on YouTube this evening. So we'll see you. Bye.